Hello and welcome to another episode of Dyson Sphere Program. This is Lord Stan and I will be your host today as we continue on in our journey to building a Dyson Sphere. So, when we last ended, we had built up some ILSs and some PLSs to get our automation for our yellow science. So now that now happens on its own. At this point in time, you probably actually have done a little bit more than say I have. For example, for instance, your logistics vessels may actually be built so you have 10 of them. So you're actually pulling stuff in faster than you're probably actually using it, which is the ideal situation. But if you haven't and you've just been following along, that still works. You're still at least producing a little bit, minus maybe your titanium alloy, which of course isn't going to be coming through anytime soon, at least automatically. Eventually it will, yes, but for now it won't, just because all of it's being used in our yellow science. So, which in all honesty, that's kind of where we need it. We need it there first. So I've done a little bit. As you can see some of the planetary logistics vessels flying along here. I added a planetary logistics system here and then of course ran a line from the small little copper patch, this iron patch, and this coal patch up here, just so we had a backup for where we're headed to at this next location. So the other thing I have been doing mainly was just waiting for these to complete, because we're going to need a lot of different things. So you can see here's I've packed a lot of assembling units, a lot of refineries, and probably about triple that roughly in conveyor belts. I'm going to be grabbing a little bit more refineries here. I've also grabbed quite a few mining machines, and then of course the wind turbines for power and the poles to distribute power everywhere else, and then of course storage chests so we can stockpile stuff. So that is where we're currently at. We are going to be going to the last planet in this system right here. So as we can see, the wind ratio is going to be where we're going to get the most power out of it, whereas our solar power out of it is quite minimal. Well, eventually, because we'll need a lot more power than the wind energy can produce, we're going to need to get a lot more resources that we can then burn off. So I think the goal here in released power is we won't be using the thermal. Where is it? This one. We won't be using the thermal power plant and burning things off. We may put these in certain locations just to maybe get rid of some excess material, but for the meantime we're not using that, just because it doesn't provide enough power and we can use those resources elsewhere. I shouldn't say that it doesn't provide enough power. It provides plenty of power, but the issue is that we would need to provide it with fuel, and we can use those resources elsewhere. So once we have that up and going, we'll do that. So our main thing is to get a streamline more of the interstellar logistics stations actually being built, and go from there. But to start off with, what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be starting on this planet, and this is where we're going to be building our main factory. So, meantime, I'm just going to be grabbing just a few things here. We probably don't need it, but we'll go ahead and grab some more miners. And that should be all that we need here. Let's go ahead and grab 3 of these so we can charge ourselves as needed. And I think that's all we need, so let's go ahead. We've got plenty of power, and let's go while the planet is still relatively close by. Or maybe it isn't. Whatever. So let's get going here. And we're just going to launch ourselves at this planet here. So I'm trying to think of what game, after we get to the ending of this series here, what game we're going to do next. And I think that what I'm going to do is probably do a challenge on 7 Days to Die. I think is the next one that I'm going to be looking at. For those of you who do not know, 7 Days to Die is a sandbox zombie survival crafting game of sorts. So I personally think it's really fun, but the challenge is going to be that from the first of all, it's going to be a random seed, so no one knows where the towns and stuff are at. So that's going to be rule 1. The second part is going to be that I can't harvest anything from the ground. So from the minute I start in, I can't harvest any of the iron nodes, any of the iron that's on the ground, any of the grass, or even the stone that happens to be laying on the ground. I have to loot everything from that. So that's what I'm thinking of being the challenge, and we'll go from there. So we're trying to find where our build section is. Let's get this faced north. Looks like our build section starts, looks like about right here, and then we can build in the center portion with the stone and this titanium being fairly close by. And then we'll just need to run stuff from different areas across the planet. So, alrighty, so that's that. So that works out fairly well here. See if I can, I think it's this way. I think this is our beginning. Let's take a look here. Yes. Alrighty, so we just come here. Here's our top line, so we're going to mark that because we want to build below that line. So we'll start off with power here, and what we'll do is we'll just drag the power all the way across the planet. So this is going to take a little bit of time, but once we have power going, then we'll be, for the most part, solid. We'll add power here in just a moment. This will mark our upper line, so we have just everything taken care of. Get the power going. So yeah, on every planet there's going to be a section in the equator to about 45 degree longitude. I think that's what it is, longitude, not latitude. It might be vice versa. I don't remember. But to about this point where we're building these, this is going to be the topmost section where all of these little square grids are going to be matched up, and it'll go to roughly about the same same portion on the South Pole or North Pole, depending on which side this currently is. I don't know offhand, not without looking at the map. So we'll find out and we'll get that done. Of course. Just so that's equal distant there. That is, and then we can put another piece there later. Alrighty, it looks like I grabbed enough power to go all the way around the planet, which should give us a decent chunk of power. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We have a decent chunk of power. We should be producing quite a bit. So, now that we're back at the beginning, roughly, I'll just start on the far side of this with the titanium vein. Alrighty, so first things first, we're going to bring a line of, probably start here. Have that come across here. I don't know exactly how long we need it yet. I'll find that out and we'll test that. Alrighty, so let's get this built, and then the next one we're going to need is the factories. Yay! So excited. Alrighty, so these we're going to be building in sets of 3, and we're going to want, let's see, let's go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So yeah, I way overbuilt this piece. We'll fix that here. We want about that far. We can remove that. We'll fine tune it later. From here, we want this. Now, the difference between the one that we've done last time is we actually want to leave quite a bit of room in here because we're going to be setting this up to proliferate all of our material, which we definitely want to do. Without the proliferation, well, we just get the standard amount of material from stuff, and no one wants to do that. Alrighty, so you're going to have a total of 30 in this case, and we're going to repeat this pattern several more times. So, and then from here for an out, right here. Then of course we'll have storage. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now you can put as many storage pieces as you want here. I tend to go with 3. That seems to be a decent stockpile amount for that, and I don't actually end up adjusting these for this planet. So, alrighty, so first things first, we need to have an in, and an in, and an out, and out. And we're just going to copy these all the way across, and copy this one all the way across. We'll just build that real quick. Alrighty, so this is design we're going to be copying. So easiest way is create a blueprint, select it like that, and at this point you can save the blueprint. If you're wanting to put it in a different section, let's just say for example we're going to call this let's call this raw ore refinery. So we'll do that. We'll give it an icon, and as this one is doing the raw ores, we're going to give it that icon. Let's put it this way. And then if you have a folder that you're wanting to put it into, this is what you would type. In this case, I don't have a folder, but you can create one at this point as well, as far as I'm aware. So this you would then put at the beginning of this, just like that, and then you would title it, let's just say, let's just call this YouTube Blueprints. Not very ideal or creative, I should say, at all, but it works. No spaces, it's just YouTube, and then the, what is that, / I believe is what that is, and then the name of the piece. And then if you want to know what the name of this is, the thumbnail text, but in this case we're just going to call this well, same thing, raw ore refinery. And then we'll just have the icon identifying as to which ones these are blue. And then I like to give it a description most of the time, so just a quick telling me of what it's for and why this is. In this case, we're doing beginning factory or refinery, just like that. And then before you use it, you want to save the blueprint, and it will save the blueprint in here. So as you can see, we have our YouTube blueprints right here, and in here is our raw ore refinery, and that's done. Once that's done, once you've saved it, then you can come down here and use the use now, and then we're just going to paste this a few more times. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure everything is in line. So if you can see a point, in this case it's going to be the topmost part right here that I'm looking at to align the blueprint, and we're just going to copy this a couple more times. So say we've got iron and copper, those are the basics. And then steel. After steel we want, what else do we want after steel? Steel's important. Oh, the whatever the coal makes, the graphite. We want graphite, and then we'll do the titanium and the silicon and the iron rings. Now that's not necessarily the order that's going to be in, that's just the number. As you expand, you're going to end up copying some of these blueprints over and over again, but for now, that is all we need. So now we're just going to go and take our time building this. And hope that I brought enough parts. Oh, the one thing I didn't do. Okay, well, I'll fix that here in a minute. So, this should have plenty of room for the proliferation. So we'll put the rings actually up here. But let me go ahead and get this done. Okay. Let's get this kind of built. And I will probably end up cutting this part out and getting that built here for you. Okay, that's a lie. I probably won't be cutting this out. I've been putting these in as raw playthroughs. I just need to remember that I need to not stop talking. To myself, mainly. Mainly because no one has put any comments in for me to respond to and talk about. Shame on you guys. Shame on you. Just kidding. It's not necessarily important. You can post if you can make a comment if you want to. If you have something that you want to talk to about, we can. However, I'm almost certain that a lot of people are going to want to save actually doing that until I actually start doing live streams, like a subathon, for example, or just a live stream, as the case may be. I don't know. I may cut down the maybe do like a live streams at 500 subscribers. I don't know. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. We'll see how that goes. It will take time. Do that. But this is now all built. Kind of. So I forgot a few things. And those few things are actually filling up the storage area. So in interest of saving, because I don't have enough here, I'm only going to put one on each. I normally have 3. 3 is kind of where we want to go, because when we get this upgraded to the last level belt and inserter with the proliferation. Geez, if I could speak English, geez. With the proliferation, it will max those out. So, alrighty, there we go. So, now all that's left is to not only get the materials here, but also to set the recipes. So, first things first, we want to locate our irons. So our nearest iron patch, we can either bring it from the north or we can bring it from the south. Decisions is what it is. Let's bring it from the north, so we can kind of try to get that cleared up just as soon as humanly possible. We'll bring another one from the south for a different piece, but let's start with the north here. So, first things first, is we're going to surround this. I don't know why I'm trying to be so careful in my placements. It doesn't really matter at this point, because I'm just trying to put as many on there as possible. Alrighty. Then we'll just have a line coming down here, there, a little bit further, and then of course this one come out and come across to there, and then we'll have that come out to there, this one to there, that one to there, and connect that one there. Voila. Just like that. And then we're going to pull this down and cut across to here to come down this direction to here to then come in and feed to that. Just like that. And then of course we also need power in here, which I completely forgot about. So we'll put the power in real quick, because otherwise nothing will work. Together relatively. Get this taken care of. And then we'll have one last line out further on the other side. Just like that. That's going to cover most everything. And we have one more here, there, 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 and funs and giggles right there. Oh, you flew off to finish that. So, and then we'll have a line coming up here. No, I don't have optimal placement, but at the moment I don't particularly care. And just like that, that is now running. And when we upgrade these lines, they will start producing at a much faster rate. But now we've got iron going, we can start building some of the smaller pieces that we need. Next is to get copper, which we'll pull from this little section right here. So just like that, and then have that come down, just like that. Have that connect there, that connect there, and that connect there. And then we're going to have this come down here and connect to that one, just like that. Oh, it'd help if we set the recipes on this, huh? So if we set that to steel, and then we want to copy that across. And same here, copy that across. Just like that. And then this one we'll set to copper. Copper. And then we will copy that and once again put it across. And copy this bottom line and put it across. Just like that. So there we go. Now we are cooking. Let's see if I can't get a line there, line there, line there, line there, and we'll just add those. I'll need to build more, a lot more sorters here soonish. Alrighty, so now we're going to go get another iron line, and we'll come over here and get this one. How are we doing on power? We're not doing good on power at all. We need to go charge. Thus why I grabbed these 3. So we can charge up quickly. Without it, we would have to attempt to get back to the planet, and that's not going to be, well, easy or feasible for that matter. So we're just going to charge our mech here Alright, now that we're charged, we'll run down here real quick. So, nice thing is that we will charge kind of slowly over time. It's just faster if we have some sort of fuel. So there we go. Okay, so it's going to come out here. We'll bring this out, and then this one will come out there, and we'll bring that up like that, and have that connect like that, connect there, connect there, connect there, connect there, and connect there. There we go. Get that built. And then we're going to bring this up to form our other pieces that are needed. Right on the line, okay. And then we'll have that just come all the way over, just like that. Now to get this one built, and then of course drag power down that direction. Speaking of power, okay, yeah, no, we've got plenty of power. While that's doing that here for a minute, let's go ahead and set these recipes. This one specifically is going to be the rings. That one also, the magnetic ring. Copy that over, just like that, and copy that one over, and there we go, we've got the magnetic rings. Have a power line coming down along this line is what we'll do. We'll actually space it further apart this time. There we go, we'll recharge. Just like this. Shouldn't take too long to do the recharge, which will be glorious. There we go. I hate it when my character, when Icarus does that. So now we'll start producing magnetic rings, which is kind of the three basics of what we're going to need for pretty much everything else. So now that we have those going, we're rolling in. We can pretty much make everything else, minus a couple of things, obviously. Most of that being...
Will not break. Will not... It broke.
And welcome back. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. This is what happened. Let me explain just a little bit. So we've come back from the other, from our factory planet of having built pretty much all the basic resources that we need. I think the only two things that we don't currently have is we don't have the coal going out for the graphite. And we don't have, obviously, we don't have steel production quite going yet. We'll be doing that manually until we get the bots up and running. And we also don't have there's a third thing, we don't have the stone going in for the glass that we will need. So, other than that, we have all of the basics. We've got our iron going, we've got copper going, we've got the magnetic rings being produced. We have the titanium and the silicon being produced as well. Those are all being produced over there. But what had happened was I was explaining that, and what I didn't realize is earlier today, earlier yesterday, I didn't find this out until I started reviewing the footage today, that it didn't fully complete recording everything. My recording software went through an update and then defaulted in that update back to back to my standard drive rather than recording to my secondary drive in my computer like it's supposed to. And so, as I don't have a whole lot of room on my primary drive, it stopped the recording. So, without further ado, I'm going to actually cut out the travel time here for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and, for you it's going to be like 2 seconds. For me, it's going to be a few minutes as I gather some power and stuff, so we can go back and over and just kind of see how everything is currently laid out. And then, of course, then we will end on that note. But yeah, so if you'll give me just a few minutes, I will get back over there. Alrighty, welcome back. We are back here, and as you can see, we have our silicon and titanium up and running, while as the iron is being produced over here, and then of course copper and the magnetic rings. And then of course our steel at the moment is manually fed, but that's just as simple as coming over here and grabbing a full stack and then bringing it over here, and for now just dumping it in there, and then this will fill itself. We'll deposit it onto the main line, which will then produce our steel over here, which we'll put it in here. So as we're using the level 1 drives here, or the belts, the level 1 belts, yellow belts, we'll call them yellow belts. As we're using the yellow belts here, they're not going to go all the way through. You're not going to put enough product through to allow it to get all the way to the end. That won't work until we get to the blue belts, which is the last level, which will then bring up the speed. That will bring it to about right here. And then after that is the proliferation, which will bring it all the way towards the end, because it'll give it more product or no, the blue belts will bring it all the way towards the end, and then the proliferation will fill up these sides, as these will be slightly open. Won't be quite a full belt coming off of it, I think is how that works. So, but anyway, so yeah, this is what we did, and we finished this. We've got this last one down here for stone that we need to do to put the stone on. And then, of course, then we need to also build one more for the whatchamacallit, the graphite with the coal. And then we'll have coal coming out here as well. And that's what we went over to the other planet, which is where we will be at next episode, as we will be building a new... Actually, you know what? No, I will do that off screen, building another interstellar logistics station, as that's going to take time, and I'm going to have to be doing all of that by hand. And then, which will then bring over here and put in place. And then that station is not only going to feed our coal over here, but it's also going to feed all of... it's going to be coming into a T here and feeding these lines, as well as backups, basically. So if ever we run out of resources here on the planet, it will start using those resources, and that's the idea. So without further ado, if you liked the video and would like to see more, if you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything that you may like to see. And if you think that there's anything that could be done better, or want to tell me how great of a job I may or may not be happening to be doing, or something that you would like to possibly see me play, either be a game or even a challenge, please put that in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.